So everybody, welcome to the RJAY Speaks YouTube channel. And if you're new here, we mainly talk about actuarial science and my journey to becoming an actuary. And today I have with me an amazing gentleman called Albert Adaare, ASA. I'll not forget to add your credentials to your name. Yes, and we are going to be talking about the hot topic, are there actuaries in Ghana? So if you are new, it would be unfair for you to be watching without subscribing to our amazing channel. And don't forget to like, but most importantly, share it to not just Ghanaians, I mean everybody. So, right? Yes, we're ready to start. Thank you, Albert, for honoring my invitation. So, for us to get the ball rolling, please tell us a bit about yourself, a brief introduction, who Albert is.
Okay, Ruby, thank you very much also for inviting me to your channel and giving me a chance to speak. I'm Albert Adaare. I'm currently serving as a regional actuarial manager for Activa International Insurance. So, mainly in my role, I oversee the actuarial function for Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. My role mainly involves me with implementing or designing valuation models and driving and using data to drive strategic leadership and decision making. So mainly I'm the regional actuarial manager for Activa International.
I'm actually impressed. I thought like you were, I won't say regular employee, but like you work as an actuary, but I didn't know you're a regional actuary. So now I know where to direct people who are pursuing actuarial science to so that you just make their process shorter. You know what I mean? Yeah,
No
for
problem.
us to start, I mean, so for most people, that I would, for most people I know or pursuing actuarial science, let me just give a background why I chose you. So during my undergrad studies, we were about 120 actuarial students. And as of today, being May 14th, 2025, I think we are about maybe maximum 5 people still actively like in the actuarial space, maybe 5 or 6 maximum. And 5 out of 120 is very tiny. And I think that the pattern is not so different from year after year, year after year, in as much as actuarial science is developing in different parts of the world, be it Africa, I mean outside than Canada. So I'm not so sure what really encouraged you to pursue actuarial science and still be on the track. I don't know if my question is clear. Like, what really moved you to still pursue actuarial science? Who were you looking at from Ghana or from wherever you find yourself for you to have gone this far to be a credentialed actuary?
Okay, so in terms of my main inspiration for pursuing actuarial science was my love for mathematics. I really loved mathematics, and I always say that I was introduced to actuarial science by a friend of mine who also wanted to become an actuary and wanted to take actuarial science undergrad. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to pursue the course. What was I sorry. He wasn't given admission. He was given a different course by the university. So he introduced actuarial science to me. Then what made me love it even more was that I googled good paying mathematical jobs, and actuarial science was one of them. Then also in Ghana, there are just quite a few number of credentialed actuaries. So that was part of my motivation. I wanted a field where the job stability would be there, and also the income would be quite, comfortable enough. So those were my motivations for becoming an actuary, mainly the love of mathematics.
Okay, so wait, I mean, just to start with, which school did you attend in Ghana?
So I started with the University of Ghana, but I ended up graduating from Valley Bay University.
Oh, okay, I want to talk about the reason here. If, but wait, is that an actuarial program in Valley View?
No,
So how then in University of Ghana were you an actuarial major?
yeah, I was an actuarial major.
So your degree is in what program? Your Valley View degree.
It's in mathematics and statistics with a
Oh,
minor in computer science.
I see. Okay, I think there's more to you than I actually thought. Because if it's about loving mathematics, I feel like many people in wherever they find themselves, right, already love math. But to know about the exam as of when you were starting, did you know there were exams to write? Did you know you could afford? Did you like what really made you choose it? Because maybe for me, for instance, as an undergrad, if I hear something like 200 USD, that might be a plot of land in my mind as at the time I was taking my bachelor's, right? So that
Yeah.
alone is discouraging to even start with. So I don't know what really motivated you, aside your friend, for you to pursue it, despite the steps needed to have achieved the milestone.
So after I heard about it, I read about the course, and it was a course I fell in love with. It was a profession I fell in love with. The combination of many disciplines. You're in actuary, you have a little bit of mathematics, a little bit of statistics. Now you need to have data skills. Which means you would need to know a little bit of programming languages, the R and the SQL and all those. So just the combination of these made me feel like this was a field I belonged to. If you get to know me personally, you would know I like doing many things. I don't just want to be known for one thing. I like trying my hands. I want to try. So this field just resonated with me. It was something I felt once I read about it, I fell in love with.
Okay, so let me just ask about this one. So what does a typical day look for you as an actuary, like when you go to work? As some people loosely say, maybe when they go to work, or they are used to maybe doing some works in Excel. Some people are also used to buying food for others, and many diverse roles that could happen at a workplace. So for you as an actuary in Ghana, what's a typical day? What does it look like for you?
Okay, so a typical day means my Excel and my R are always open, and I'm just processing data, trying to find insights to data, trying to either I am finding insights for to make a decision, or I'm supposed to present a report or work on a report, either for internal users or for the regulator. So that's how a typical day. Mostly it will be data work, going through data, ensuring that I'm able to get results that I need. So
Okay.
that's what a typical day would look like. It's
Okay.
quite interesting though because it's not only Ghana you're working for. Remember, we're working for Sierra Leone and Liberia. So in as much as there will be it's more data work, you also have to make calls here and there because it's not always you're physically present. So you need to understand your data, understand certain results. So that makes it quite interesting too.
So would you be the one behind all the manual or the pricing work with regards to the like the different countries you mentioned? Do you have a team? How big is it?
Okay. Yes, Activa International has a team, which is led by our chief actuary, Bell. Bell is a fellow he's a fellow in enterprise risk management, but Bell has extensive experience. And at Activa, in fact, we are into
Sorry, is
pensions.
Bell Ghanaian?
No, Bell is in Cameroon. He's a Cameroon, but he stayed in the States for quite a long time, more than 15 years of experience in the States.
Okay.
So we are into pensions, we're into general, we're into life, we're into medical health insurance. So Activa International has a whole range of portfolios. So the actuarial team is made up of we have 5 members, 5 people in the actuarial team, and we all work together. But mainly my role is Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Liberia. But as a group, we work together. So in terms of valuation, I lead the valuation for Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. When it comes to pricing, and normally Bell is much more involved in the pricing bit because we want to ensure that, and he's a fellow he has extensive experience. So we tap into his experience to ensure that we are putting out good rates.
Okay, so then if you are watching and you're from Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and you need insurance for pensions, life, and medical, please go and patronize Activa. I hope I did a great
Come
job.
to Nigeria.
Yeah.
That's good. But we don't have pensions yet in these
Oh,
three
you don't have pensions,
countries.
so sorry, life and medical
So in general,
in general.
non-life,
None.
property, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
please, you know where to find yourself. If you have any questions, please chase him on LinkedIn concerning the
I would answer.
details of the policy so that you're not deceived. Okay? All right. So back to our topic. With regards to the industries in Ghana currently operating, which industries would you say are currently employing actuaries right now?
Okay, so in Ghana, it's mainly the insurance industry. Most of the actuaries are either working for insurance companies or to actuarial consulting. There is one who works in the bank. That's Clifford Mensah. He's a fellow and he is a certified enterprise risk analyst. He works for Senate Bank and he's in charge of their credit risk management and their asset liability management, the IFRS 9 elements. So Clifford is the only actuary in Ghana working a non-traditional role.
Who does Clifford? All right. I'm, I'm sure maybe with time there will be much development or like the growth of a bigger
Yeah, yeah.
workforce, bigger.
I'm sure as the number of actuaries increase, we hope to see more actuaries in non-traditional roles.
Hmm. Okay. So with regards to that, how would you say actuarial science in a whole is valuable to the Ghana's economy? Because I feel like right now, like you have like a team of five with Activa, right? Working on valuation. And in my mind, a team of five could come off as not so much a big team handling, let's say, three different countries and all let's to put it as
A
such.
team
But
of five handles a total of 9 countries. So
a team of
let's
five.
continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So all comments reserved on that. But with regards to actual science as a whole, how valuable do you think it is to the economy of Ghana as it stands now? Because every year, I mean, year
Okay.
to year, we have many students graduating from the program from schools like, of course, I'll mention Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology first because I'm an alumni. Then you have UCC and you have Legon and many others, right? So how valuable is the program in itself to the economy as of now?
No, actuarial science is very valuable. Aside those who are even credential, most of the graduates you find them in most of them would branch to take the CFA and the chartered accountants and other professional courses. It's mainly because of their training that they go through at the undergraduate level. Speaking strictly of actuaries in the Ghanaian economy, in the insurance economy, we all know the role insurance plays in the economy. We know that we provide support when there's unexpected losses or when there are incidents. We come to help to ensure that business continues to run despite certain unforeseen circumstances. So, and actuaries are very, very well. I would say that in Ghana, they are well respected. You are given a listening ear anytime you get their respect. Anytime there's a decision, they come to you. They do not want to take any decision without your approval or without at least your backing, even if it doesn't concern you. Most of the time, they want to ensure that at least there is data and you help them at least in, especially with risk management, and help them know what they are going to do, what are the implications of their decisions, so should they look to mitigate any risk, all these. So yeah, actuaries are very well respected in the Ghanaian market. It's quite unfortunate that we are just a few credentialed, I would say. There are lots more people who have worked in the field, they have the experience, but unfortunately for one reason or another, maybe never took papers or took a few and decided to stop. They also play important roles, just that they are not yet credentialed.
And do you think the lack of, is it a lack of awareness or the lack of support that makes people know the work without the exams?
Okay, so it's a lack of support, and I would say earlier on there was a lack of structure for people taking and to encourage people to take exams. You know, right now it's different. Right now we have universities in Ghana, and we have support from a few bodies like the SOA who are through the international discount. Aztecs is that I don't know if that's like, but Aztecs plays very, very they play quite a key role, especially in providing exam materials for students in university. So we have few people coming in here and there to help. But initially, that structure was not there. Now we have people taking exams at the university level. As I always say, when I was finishing the undergrad, I didn't know I could take papers whilst I was in undergrad. I actually had to finish before someone was like, "Oh, you could take papers." So that education was not there. But now you can read anything on the internet. You'd have access to even access to mentors and all. Now it's quite easy. So right now, I expect more people to start taking exams, and hopefully, aside the fact that we are not able, not a lot of people are writing the exam. I think another issue is retaining the actual talent, because we have people like Ruby who go and sometimes fail to come back. So yeah, that is what it
For
is.
me,
I'm sorry, Ruby.
oh no, you're good. Continue.
So that is what it is. Yeah, that is what it is. So I'll leave it there, Ruby.
Okay, so on behalf of what? On behalf of all diasporan actuaries, we are sorry, motherland. But thank you.
it's, it's interesting though because they are quite there are few actuaries in Ghana, but trust me, I always say this, there are many Ghanaian actuaries. It's a field that I feel a lot of a lot of people who take the course, especially when they have the opportunity and they have the structure to take the exams, are able to excel. And we have quite a good number of Ghanaian actuaries, and they are doing good.
I mean, that's actually great input. And thank you also for mentioning the support, because I also heard about the how much Artex is helping the students like currently, because I have a few number of mentees in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology
So
who have like at least 2 exams, some 3, thanks to the ATEX exam support that they provide regarding the study materials. I think they work it through something like ambassadorial work. Let's say now you become like an ATEX ambassador,
yeah,
and then you move on. And I'm like, oh wow. And I have like, I think average exam for people right now is about 2 before they graduate.
yeah.
That's really impressive. So ATEX, yes, good work, but I mean, coaching actually is family to me. But yes, I love you, Artex, also for doing such great work and great input. Hopefully, we'll all catch up one day and very soon. So thank you for that great input. So now we want to talk about the challenges or the realities of actuarial science as it stands now in Ghana. So then we want to talk about what you think is the biggest misconception about actuaries in Ghana. I can start first because when I was enrolled in the actuarial science, when I was enrolled in actuarial science, for my undergraduate studies, what I remember that was said on campus was, oh, these are the people who can tell when you're going to die. And that made us a bit superheroes or geniuses on campus. But as far as I can remember, I don't think I was able to tell at any point in time when anyone was going to die on campus. Though we had people passing away during my 4-year time or 4-year degree period. So what else is like the misconception about actuaries like now?
Come to think of it, I'll say it's similar. In Ghana, well, once you are qualified, or once you are an actuary, you are seen as this brilliant person. So the misconception is that we're all about studies. We are boring people, but hey, we are fun. In fact, most of the actuaries in Ghana, they are pretty much fun. They are fun to be around with. They are fun to hang out with. Yeah.
On the basis of fun, what's the one fun thing about you? Let us know if that's really true.
Oh, I'm just a vibe, man. I'm just a vibe. If you have me around you, you can't be sad. Trust me, you can't be sad. I'm
Aside
just a
aside
vibe.
your vibe, what's the fun thing? Okay, you like to do. Let me not make it about your personality, but one thing you
Okay,
like to do.
so I'm very physically active. I play basketball. I play soccer,
That's
and I train. Though I've taken a break from the gym, regular gym sessions, I used to train actively. I'm trying to learn tennis yet. The time is not yet there, but I hope to learn tennis soon. I'll replace basketball with tennis. I think I'm growing a little bit too old to be jumping. I'm putting a lot of pressure on my knees. So yeah.
okay. So if you're listening, get to understand that actuaries do have fun and we are not boring. And this is one.
At all.
And of course, I have some. No, I have it here. I have a guitar in my small corner, which I'm learning.
Okay.
We are actually fun people. So become an actuary
Yeah,
if you
I
have.
play piano though. Piano and the guitar I started learning. Even the violin too I started learning. As I told you, I like to do a little bit of everything.
Which of them are you best at? Because it's a jack of all
The
trades,
piano.
master of none. I don't know how to do that.
I played no, the piano. I played the piano for long.
Okay. I might assume you play in church.
Nope. I play for myself.
Someone, please tag his pastor in the comment section. He needs to see that he's been going to church without playing for the church. So,
Yeah,
okay. So no, please come. Sorry.
no, I said we just go to worship and we're out.
Okay. No, but I think that like they say, life is not for yourself, right? Life and happiness is for
Yeah.
others. So let's say if your talent is playing keyboard, it's good to play for yourself. Sometimes I just come sit behind my small keyboard. I also have a small keyboard there. And I
Okay.
play something just to calm my soul, quote unquote. But it's much better if you do it for others. The easiest way to be happy in life is to make others happy.
Oh, I do agree with that.
Yes. So back on the subject of other actuaries in Ghana, if you are still watching and you have not subscribed, that's actually an unfair actuarial sin you are committing. You're forgiven, but kindly subscribe now, like the video, and share. So there was a recent, back to topic though, there was a recent news, not so recent, about is it a student or yeah, I think a student, a male who expressed grievances towards a CEO. That's like in the United States story. I'm sure a lot of people
Okay.
get it. With I won't be mentioning insurance company, but one insurance company CEO was shot for many people expressing grievances towards how insurance system works in the United States and all that in the whole medical industry. it being super expensive, claims being denied, and all that. What do you think is the state of Ghanaians or the heart condition of Ghana towards insurance industry? Are you people perceived to be quote unquote? I'm on the insurance career, so please, I'm not a liar. I don't lie. Well, are you perceived to be liars, or are you perceived to be cheats? Such that people feel like, oh, these insurance people, you buy the policy when it's time for claims, they don't do their part. And why do you think there might be issues like that? So what's the current state with regards to the frustration with people when it comes to insurance purchasing?
Okay, so when it comes to insurance in Ghana, what I would say is okay, when it those who understand what insurance is, you have few problems with them. Most of the time, the issues come from those who are not able to understand insurance. Unfortunately, in Ghana, we still have quite a huge number of informal people, or I'll say um, educational in terms of education. So most of our people or the workforce in Ghana are informal workers. They may not have gone through a complete up to the undergrad level.
Actual
So
side.
comprehend and no, generally in Ghana.
Okay, got you.
Okay, so understanding insurance, it's quite they do not really understand, especially in the life field. When it comes to general, that they are able to understand more because they are able to, when they get a loss, the insurance company steps in and helps them recover from the loss. But with life insurance in Ghana, especially when you're selling, you are told, why should I be putting money down? And when I pass, they are telling me the money goes to my family. They do not really comprehend what it means. And we're telling them, oh no, it's not only about you, but we want to ensure that you have a good burial. We want to ensure that your loss does not put your family in a place where they suffer because probably they are the provider of the family and all. So in Ghana, well, through education, most insurance companies employ agents to go out there, educate the market, and help bring in the sales and help people understand insurance. So in Ghana right now, we are trying to increase the penetration of insurance in the market. So that's where we are. With the misconceptions, I think there will be a few here and there. Most of them would come from clients who are unhappy. So we try as much to ensure that clients are happy. Once the client is happy, the client will refer you to his friends and to other people around him. And that's what we are currently on.
Okay, so you mentioned the education of insurance, and that of course people feel like everybody embarks on something with regards to the results or the benefits. For the
Yeah,
life insurance in this case is for when you are no more, like people who depend on you, like there's an insurable interest.
yeah.
You had insurable interest, but you don't understand. Go and read. I'm
I do
the
understand.
viewers. They should go and follow the insurable interest.
Oh,
I'm just doing shit. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so with regards to that, do you think is reasonable? I've been in fact, in the US, I'm a licensed those insurance salesperson for life. But
okay,
I mean, in Ghana too, I was licensed for sales.
okay.
I like marketing. That's why I had to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm doing sales work right now. Anyway, so with regards to that, there's something I sometimes argue or discuss with my friends with regards to do you need to sell life insurance to single people with no kids? If the benefits goes out per how many dependents depend on their income. Right? I think most of the times it's almost like, okay, there could be people depending on you who might not necessarily be your direct family, like your children,
Yeah,
your parents. But your parents kind of like I feel like the dependency should be your parents, then you under your parents, right? Like we should go it that way.
yeah.
So would you sell actively? Your original manager is here. Would you sell, encourage your salespeople to sell life insurance, real life, like pure life, as a term insurance, to singles with no kids and no partners? And why? Or why not?
So, to understand my answer, you'd have to understand culture in Ghana. Even if, okay, let's say you had no human being dependent on you, okay? In Ghana, funerals are a big thing. When someone passes on, the funeral expense is quite significant. So if it comes to life insurance, just for that reason alone, you do not want to burden your family. Because if you are not worried about, oh, okay, how will the kid take care of this bill or how they take care of themselves when I'm gone, at least do not burden them with your funeral expense. So for that reason alone, I'll say yes, purchase that life insurance today.
Please, I have a question.
Kind of shoot
How
your
sure,
question.
how sure are you that the beneficiary is going to use the money for for funeral expenses. Because
Even
a bit flesh on the question, because the culture of Ghana that I think I last left with when it comes to funeral, it's like the whole family. When I say whole family, it's like extended, kind of as their cost. It's not like one person's cost. So everybody will come on board. Unfortunately, you get more people coming on board for funeral than your wedding or your naming ceremony, unfortunately. So in that case, so a person who thinks the family is going to take care of it anyways. I'm just throwing in an exception to
that,
that.
I, the person should not be, he should not burden his family with the cost.